Alright guys, I'm done with stabilizing, and yeah, I tracked every shot or applied the warp stabilizer and then exported it as a MOV QuickTime format video. So now we have all of these stabilized clips here in my clip stabilized folder. This is a process which of course can take some time, but it's definitely worth it. Look at that shots, like we just level up this quality insanely. Like this is crazy, I love it. Next up, we are going to level up the shots even more, because on this specific edit, I actually modified the background to make the car pop more and to bring some more structure into the background, and I'm going to show you how. So the next step before we start with transition and other effects, we are going to modify and to level up our shots even more. So let's jump right in. I actually prepared something for you. That's a fractal background clip which I created with Maxon, created a new solid and applied the turbulent noise effect here. And then I played around with the preset. This is by Red Giant Universe. I don't think a lot of you purchased a Red Giant, so I'm going to give you that clip so you can download it and follow this tutorial along. Let me import it. So just get this fractal background clip here. Perfect. I'm going to create a folder and name this one assets and just drop it here into my assets folder. Nice. So before we apply the clip, we need to mask out our car. There are a couple of methods I'm going to show you. I usually do rotoscope a lot. So you can rotoscope the car here and then let After Effects track the rotoscope. But another method, which is faster sometimes, which you can also do, is using Mocha. And Mocha is an effect inside of Premiere Pro, but like a third party effect. And in here, we can draw a mask. Yeah, don't be scared. It's not so complex. So we just need to get that pen tool here up to the top. So just choose that tool. And now we are going to zoom in a bit. So with both hands on the mouse pad, you can zoom in. And now I'm going to draw a mask around the car here as best as possible, because this selection is going to be our selection for throughout that whole clip. So you can zoom in here with the tool up to the top, which is this tool here, and the zoom tool, or with your mouse or your mouse pad. The mouse pad, if you are using both fingers, you can like target towards your cursor, and then if you use both of your fingers, you can zoom in. Yes, so I'm going to make sure this mask is pretty accurate, because then we're going to track it. All right, and now with double click, we are finishing the mask, and now we can zoom out again. And yes, that is our selection. Pretty cool. Now what you want to do is you want to check all of them here, also the perspective, for our track. And now, since we have a cool and clean selection, we just need to track forward and see if Mocha gets the track right. And Mocha is pretty good. So if your subject is sharp and clear to see, Mocha should do a really good job tracking your subject. And that is looking pretty good. Well, we're losing here the mask a bit. We could fix this with feathering, but yeah, it's not 100%. Maybe I didn't do a correct mask here, but you can see here, like it just fades up here. But I don't think that's a problem in that case. But yeah, let's see if we track backwards till the first frame of the clip, how the Mocha performs. So here we're losing the mask. So yeah, you see, yeah, and here we lose it as well. So it's not going to be the best option to isolate the object here. So sometimes just try different methods. We could, just to show you how masking works, and maybe it works for your clip. So here it is good, but here we're losing it. In that case, it didn't really work, but maybe in your case, it does work, which would be awesome. So you can just save the data here with Command S, save it here, and then jump here onto our clip, and nothing happened yet. That's because we need to open the mat here, and now we create a mask. Click here on Create After Effects Mask, and now it's tracked. Like, that's dope, right? So just track the mask, which is pretty amazing, and all you have to do is duplicate that clip, and here you need to invert it, and you have an isolated object, which is pretty cool. So that's basically exactly what we want, but I want it to be 100%, and you can tell here, this is sadly not 100%. We're going to use rotoscope. We take the time, and it's really important that you know both of these techniques. Both of them I use daily in my edits, and sometimes it works and sometimes I have to switch to the other one. Let's delete this clip and let's delete Mocha here as an effect on that clip here. And we're going to delete that mask and turn on the layer again. So now we have that fresh, clean layer. And now the second technique I use to isolate my subject is the rotoscope tool up here to the top. Just choose that roto brush tool, and I'm going to double click on my clip, and now it's going to open up a new tab here on the top where I can select my subject I want to cut out. I'm going to use that brush here to select my car as good as possible. You can also zoom in with the tools you know in After Effects, and now we can select that area. If you want to deselect something, just hold down Option, then you get this red brush and you can deselect areas. Yes, you can also change the size of the brush. So if you hold down Command and you go up and down with your mouse cursor, you can change the size. This can be really helpful if you want to do like small areas like here. I'm going to scale it down the brush, make a good selection, and yeah, make sure that first frame as well, same as Mocha, is really clean and best as possible. After Effects gets a good reference frame, and then we can just press spacebar, and the track is going to automatically be created by After Effects. So this is going to be pretty hard to track because there's not a lot of contrast. So let's see how it performs here. So let's make sure that first frame is clean and nice. All right, so let's also choose the area here at the bottom to be 100%. Yes, please give me that. Select this area here. All right, here we have some areas left. So nice, boom, boom, boom. That is a good contrast, so I think that's going to be easy to track the bottom here. So let's make sure everything is selected. Come on, man. All right, and make sure in your main comp the resolution is set to full to get the best result here to track. So go back here into our main comp and set it here to full, and we already see that first preview frame. Looks pretty cool. So let's jump back and select all the others. Make sure everything is super clean. And I think that is looking all right. Nice, I'm happy with that. We have a clean car selected here. And now we just need to press spacebar. Boom. And it's going to track the mask. So you see we are losing here the mask. So boom. We have to correct it. So you can go in, stop the track, and correct it again, like that, like that. Okay, let's go ahead, and now we're losing it again. So this is going to be pretty hard, this side mirror here, but the rest is tracking really well, I think. So we go back in total. So we have a bit of lag here. You see here, let's find the first frame where it starts lagging, right here. Nope, we don't need the area, bro. So, and After Effects right away, detected we don't need the area. It's jumping here, but I think we can fix that. We can also feather it a little bit. So yeah, we can fix that. The rest of the car is pretty clean. It's just that right mirror which doesn't really work. So you see here in that case, it's working way better than Mocha. So that's apparently the right way to mask out this car. The selection is done. Okay, we have some lags going on up here. It's all about that mirror here. Damn it. Yeah, because there's like not a lot of contrast here. So let's try to go through all the frames and fix that. So yeah, that's kind of a mess here. But yeah, we just have to do frame by frame and fix the sides here. But with the brush tool, you're actually pretty quick. So you can fix stuff pretty easy. We can like check the track if everything is good. Yeah, and I think here this is totally fine. That's all right. A little bit of jitter here. I mean, we are going to speed ramp that anyway, so this is going to be fun. And yes, I think that's good. If you're happy with your track, if everything is looking all right, you can go in here, and now we're going to freeze the frame on the bottom here. You can also have different views and like check again with that red view here if your selection is clean and everything as you want it. And yes, now we can freeze the frame here. Boom, freezing the frame is super important because we want to freeze that selection. So we have that clean, isolated layer. All right, the freeze frame is done. And this is really important because we want to freeze the selection we have done, because otherwise it's not going to save all the selection, the rotoscoping we did. So make sure you freeze the frame. It might take some time, depends on the length on your clip. Now we can jump back here into our main composition of that clip. And now we can see that is isolated. Perfect, exactly what we want. And now we're going to duplicate the clip with Command D. And here on the bottom layer, we can just delete that roto brush. Nice. So now we have one selection, just the car. And yeah, the whole clip without any effects in the background. Now it's time to bring that shot to life. So go into the assets and drag in that fractal background. Nice. And now we are going to set the blending mode to darken. I found this look pretty cool. And we can also decrease the opacity here to something you like. And I think that is already looking super dope. We're affecting that background here. I really like that effect. And since we have that mask here on top of the car, it's not going to affect the car and only the background. And of course, you can play around with effects for the background. You don't need to use that fractal background, which you can download for yourself. But I think in this case here, it looks pretty cool. You can add all kinds of overlays there to spice up the shot. And one more thing, we can also add here on the background layer, for example, a camera lens blur. So we can like blur the background a bit more. So let's increase it to maybe 15. So we see the result. So now with that, the car is really popping. Like, see how that shot looks now? Like, it's great stabilized. We have an awesome look here in the background. And I think this just levels up the shot like crazy. I love it. And one more thing, if you have Red Giant, if you have Maxon Studio, make sure you apply the chromatic displacement effect here on the fractal background. For the displacement layer, set it to the background layer. We have here the stabilized one, and increase the displacement amount, crank it up, nice, and also soften the displacement. And now you can see here how it's affecting the background. Like, this is pretty cool. And now it's going around that light rays here, and it looks like it's actually affecting the background. Let's lower the quality a little bit so we can have a smooth playback. This is pretty cool. I love that effect. And yeah, you can play around with that. If you don't have it, don't worry. I think still without the chromatic displacement effect, it looks pretty cool and it just levels up your shot. So that is exactly what we want to do for all the other clips. Now it's time to rotoscope all the other cars. And yeah, if that clip here is too short, you can just duplicate it. If your clip is longer, and just time reverse the layer and make sure to clip it here at the end. And now then you have a longer clip and it's just reversing, but no one's going to see that. That is how we spice up our shots to another level. And now, you guessed it, we're going to export it as a QuickTime format. Again, you rotoscope your car in all of your other shots here, and then you're going to apply exactly the same steps. So here we're going to only rotoscope this car, and then we're going to apply all the other steps like we did here. So all the clips look as cool and in the same style as the clip here. And if you're done with all your clips rotoscoping, adding the fractal background, then you go up to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. And now you're going to export them as a QuickTime format, as you know. Boom. Make sure to save it into another folder. So let's say here in ProRes, we create that folder chromatic background. Oh no, fractal. Sorry guys, fractal background. And in here, we're going to place all the clips and call them number 1 SL fractal background. And then boom, we're going to export all these clips, and I'm going to rotoscope and add the fractal background off camera to all the other shots, because you know how to mask it with either Mocha, how to isolate your car, or rotoscope it, and then you know how to add these layers. I'm going to do this for the other 10 clips, and I'm going to see you in a second. Alright guys, I'm done. I've added the fractal background to all of my clips, and I think this is looking amazing. Like, this time was definitely worth it. This is such an upgrade to the shots. This is high quality stuff. Yes, except for this clip here, because we're going to do the logo flip here, and I'm not seeing any use case for editing it here to the background, because we're not seeing it anyway, because we are flipping the logo. All the focus is going to be on the logo. So this is the only clip. Save some time, not did that one. But for all the other clips, I've added the fractal noise here, and it's looking super, super cool.